Hello everyone, I'm Renowned Zero. Today we're going to be talking about Bob Iger confirming that Disney will double down on woke content. Says we can't lose that. You just can't. Yes, you can lose it. You just don't want to because you're not a very smart businessman. You're very great. You're a very good manipulator, but you're not a very smart businessman. That's why you will never be Walt Disney. You will never be better than Walt Disney was, and Walt Disney will always be better than you. Sad to say, but it is what it is. We're going to read this article here from Bounding into Comics. Let's jump right into it. Bob Iger confirms Disney will double down on woke content. We can't lose that. We just can't. Even though your last movie, Strange World, is going to flop $100+ million. You can't lose that, though. Bob Iger may be back at the helm of the Walt Disney Company, but if anyone thought his return would see the company shift away from divisive identity politics, that would be sadly mistaken. In stunning turn of events last week, the Walt Disney Company announced that effective immediately, former CEO Bob Iger would be back in his old role, replacing sitting CEO Bob Chapek, Bob Iger, they both are dumb. The board has concluded that as Disney embarks on an increasingly complex period of industry and transformation, Bob Iger is uniquely situated to lead the company through this pivotal period. Announced the Disney Board's current chairman, Susan Arnold, in a statement provided to the media on November 20th. Quote, "We thank Bob Chapek for his service to Disney over his long career, including navigating the company through the unprecedented challenges of the lockdowns. With his return, everyone from the company's employees to its critics alike have been eager to know Iger's plans for Disney's creative direction, particularly in regards to its production of woke content. And during an internal Q&A held between himself and Disney employees on November 28th, the CEO will confirm that diversity, inclusion, and alphabet community content are here to stay because you wanna definitely alienate everyone who's been watching your content since they were younger, not passing it on to their children, not showing their children your content. No, you just want to appease the woke weirdos on Twitter and the people that don't really watch this stuff and are a very small minority of people. But GG. No diversity of thought. Iger will address the topic in a reply to a number of questions submitted to him by his employees. As seen in a video obtained by independent journalist Christopher Rufo, the CEO would offer his first thoughts on the subject after being asked whether or not Disney was sadly making political statements under his tenure. Quote, "I think there's a misperception here about what politics is." No, there isn't. You're just dumb. Answered Iger. "I think that some of the subjects have been proven to be controversial as it relates to Disney have been branded political, and I don't necessarily believe they are. Just because you don't believe they are doesn't mean they're not. They are. I don't think that when you're telling stories and attempt to be a good citizen of the world that's political. It's just not how I view it. But again, just because you view it a certain way doesn't mean it's not political. Do I like the company being embroiled in controversy?" He then asked rhetorically of the crowd. "Of course not. It can be distracting and can have a negative effect on the company, and it has. That's why y'all recently lost $1.5 billion in the last quarter. But you're going to continue to double down on woke content because you're dumb. And you're not a very good businessman. You just buy other people's stuff. And to the extent that I can work to quiet things down, I'm going to do that. To stop making woke garbage. Make something good. Make something original that's good. But I think it's important to put in perspective what some of these subjects are and not just simply brand them as political." Later, when asked for his stance on the Don't Say Gay situation, the CEO explained, "Well, first of all, our alphabet community employees are very important to us. If you care, keep about them. No, you don't. That is a given," he declared. "Secondly, this company has been telling stories for 100 years, and those stories have had a meaningful, positive impact on the world." Yes. And they reflect the majority of the population. And one of the reasons that they've had a meaningful, positive impact is one of our core values is inclusion, acceptance, and tolerance. No. It's had an impact because it reflects and has a message for the people that watch it, who are the majority of people who are, straight. And we can't lose that. We just can't lose that. I think about Black Panther and the impact that had on the world, or a film like Coco. Black Panther was not the first black superhero. That would be Blade. Marvel did it first before you bought it. A film like Coco. Coco was good. But I'm pretty sure the Book of Life came out before Coco, if I'm not mistaken. I could continue. I could go on and on. How we actually change the world for the good must continue. The way you think it changes the world is because it has some race that supposedly wasn't, because a certain race wasn't reflected in the movie, then the person couldn't relate to the film. That's how you look at these movies. You don't look at these movies for the messaging in the movie, in the good messaging in it. All you see is the race. When you tell stories, there's a delicate balance. You say you're talking to an audience, but it's also important to listen. It's important to have respect for the people that you're serving and not have disdain for them. Which, by the way, y'all disrespected Chadwick Boseman with your second Black Panther movie. So, give me a break. To this end, he then admitted said, we're not going to make everyone happy all the time. We're not going to try to. We're certainly not going to lessen our core values in order to make everyone happy all the time. You don't have any core values. The core values that Walt Disney had for the Disney company, you've completely put in the trash. So you have no core values because you don't use them. You don't use the core values that were set out by Walt Disney himself. Because again, Walt Disney will always be a better man than you and be a better creative than you'll ever be in your entire life, Bob Iger. It's sickening that you think you would ever creatively compete with Walt Disney. He then assured us in place. So it's complicated and there's a balance. At one point, the CEO recalled, I said, we do what we believe is right, and then someone criticized me. Who are you to say what's right? When you're in a job like mine, or you are responsible for storytelling, you get paid to have a sense for what is right. Concluded Chapek. Oh, so like firing Gene Carano, you thought that was correct? Because a bunch of dumb weirdos who don't watch your stuff complained about something that she didn't actually say? GG. Not everybody will agree with you. That's just not the way the world is these days. But that doesn't mean you should stop trying to do the right thing. Though Iger seems confident in betting Disney's future on woke content, the company's recent box office returns should give him ample reason to pause. Earlier this year, after heavily marketing the film based on its inclusion of a lesbian relationship, Lightyear bombed at the box office, only drawing $226 million on a production budget of $200 million, an estimated loss of well over $100 million for the House of Mouse. Yes, because you should have stayed with Tim Allen as Lightyear, not trash Chris Evans. He was good as Captain America. He's not a movie star. He's Captain America. The company's latest animated film, Strange World, released ahead of Thanksgiving, only to bomb at the box office with a domestic take of only $18.6 million at the domestic box office, with a reported production budget of between $135 million and $180 million, meaning the film has to make between $335 million and $450 million to break even. Despite a string of poorly performing woke projects from the Disney brand, Iger's statement makes it very clear that they won't stop pushing diversity and inclusion anytime soon, even if it costs them over 9 figures each time they try. Yes, because again, Bob Iger doesn't actually care about anything Disney stands for or Walt Disney stands for. All he cares about is his supposed bottom line that doesn't exist. When you continue to pump out multiple garbage movies like Legend of the Ten Rings, The Eternals, Strange World, and Lightyear, you continue to pump out garbage like that, you're going to see negative results because the movies suck. Nobody likes these movies because all you do is put in your woke identity politics garbage in them, and you expect people to just sit there and consume, like most of your consumers that you have on your trash train of content. They watch your trash content, and all you want people is to consume. But I'm glad that Disney lost money, because they deserve to lose money for putting out the amount of garbage that they tend to put out. That'll be all for today, everyone. Thank you for checking out this video. Hope you made it to the end, so you can hit that like button. Comment below what you think. Subscribe and turn on notifications. That way you know when I post the videos. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.